So, I want to start this off by watching something from someone on here who has taught me a lot of what I know about personal branding. And this is a video that I recently came across, and when I heard it, my mind was blown. I want to start this video about personal branding with this clip because I think it serves as a really good foundation. So let me just cue that up. I think it's on my screen. Let me make it a bit bigger for you guys and let's watch it. Just watch a few minutes.
And I usually go up on stage and I say, I just need to let everybody know I hate public speaking, but I love building relationships. I understand that being up here is the price I have to pay to have a conversation with you later. It's my introduction to you. I'm so socially awkward. My strategy is to make content so good, I don't have to develop social skills. Now, that's a really long story that's been condensed into loud introvert. What it does is it gets people to raise their eyebrow, either to say, that doesn't make sense, tell me more, or I'm the same way. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
100%.
Okay. It doesn't tell the
Love
whole
it.
story. It's
Yeah,
just like the teaser trailer to the rest of your story. And that's what I'm doing. So, how does one create a two-word brand? On the surface, it looks like you just find two words that are diametrically opposed, that are juxtaposed together, and that then you can just tell somebody. So somebody's like, well, I'm a quiet extrovert. And they'll do things like that. The problem with that is it doesn't have meaning for them. It might be
And this is what I want to zoom in on for a second. Finding your two-word brand. I think it's really a genius strategy and a good place to not necessarily start with building your personal brand, but something to keep in mind as I go over these tips on starting to build your personal brand. You know, your two-word brand. Chris Doe, if I didn't mention who that was, he started off with that story about public speaking on stage and how he truly is, yada, yada, yada. As he said, who he is being condensed down into two words. So we'll circle back around to that. If you're watching live, feel free to ask any questions. If you're watching on the replay, you can always leave questions down below. But keep this in mind. Once again, I want to repeat just to drive home, keep in mind what could your two-word brand be as I share these tips. And then we'll circle back to it at the end about how you can create your two-word brand. Okay, so starting a personal brand. If you're building a business, building a YouTube channel, you're kind of being counterproductive if you're not doing that thing simultaneously with building your personal brand. Just to put it to you as simply as I possibly can, when you have a strong personal brand, your business, your YouTube channel, whatever it is, will grow quicker, be better because you've done the work to have a solid foundation. People connect with people. People don't necessarily connect with businesses or brands in the same way they would connect to a person. And that's just something to keep in mind. So, okay, you have a few things to keep in mind. Let's get into it. Being a content creator is a stressful job. Being someone who wants to start a business is a stressful endeavor. And oftentimes I feel like creators in the YouTube space feel like they have to rely on brand deals. But I'm here to tell you, and a part of my goal with this video is you can rely less on brand deals if you take the time to build up your personal brand, invest in your personal brand, scale it up, level it up, however we want to put that. And you can create a more financially secure future for yourself by doing that, building your personal brand. And, ultimately diversifying, building your personal brand will allow you to diversify your monetization strategies outside of AdSense, outside of brand deals, outside of this and that. It's going to open up a lot of doors for you. And In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can amplify your personal brand if that's not clear enough. So I want you to focus on the personal brand so that you can reduce stress. You know, we have to not put all our eggs in one basket or just a few baskets. And like I said, that personal brand, the floodgates become open once you have a strong one, you know, especially if the personal brand you create is like, I'm trying to find the words, but there's people who have bad personal brands. They have a bad reputation. People often don't want to collaborate with them, work with them, or if think of a celebrity. While I'm talking about this, I know there's one particular celebrity who's in deep ish right now. His personal brand is in the gutter right now. I don't even know what's going on with the situation, but maybe you know who I'm thinking of. If not, just think of a celebrity or an influencer or someone in the limelight who has when you think of them, it's like, oh no, that's a negative connotation. You know, you fix up your face at them. You don't want to build a personal brand like that because that doesn't open doors. It really keeps them closed and puts you in a corner, puts you up on a shelf. Nobody wants to deal with you. You want to build a likable personal brand. That's how you get the most doors to be open. And honestly, when I say like, I'm about to say like you can, if you do this, you can work less and still earn more. There's always going to be work that you have to put in, but you won't have to put in, you'll put in a different kind of work to build your business, build your this and that, your endeavors. If you take the time now to build your personal brand, number one, become dangerously self aware. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know your strengths, your weaknesses, your likes, your dislikes, and your values and your beliefs, it's going to be hard to craft a personal brand. When you think of Nike, there's certain words and elements that come to your mind, right? When I'm saying Nike, you probably have an image of someone going like this. You have an athletic person, you have victory or strength or just do it vibes. Those are words that come to your mind. When someone says your name, what type of words do you want to come to their mind? You know, it has to be similar. There's a lot of parallels with building a personal brand. Like when it comes to building a personal brand, as you would see in building a business brand, very similar things, but you there's still some slight differences. Taking time to understand who you are is a journey. It's a process. Not something that's going to happen overnight, but this is something you can decide right now. This is what you want to do, build a personal brand, and begin to dig deep and within to understand yourself. Someone in my life, right? They couldn't really start to build their personal brand until they got over different parts about their past. Whether they liked it or not, they still viewed themselves in their present as who they were in their past because they used to, um, how can we say, what's something that you did in your past that you may not be happy about, you know? Maybe that's what they did too. But I had to tell them, like, yo, it's over. It's done. That's not who you are today. Like, it doesn't make or break you. You know, are you dealing with things like versions of yourself that you didn't like and still looking at yourself that way? Or are you looking at yourself as an amazing, wonderful person that is capable of doing anything and changing and being whoever you want? Like, this is not a video for self-development, self-improvement. You can go watch other YouTube videos on that, but I have to, as Jennifer Y is saying, number one, just a repeat of what I said to y'all. Become dangerously self-aware. It's just a foundational step. In this video, you're going to hear a lot of foundational things. A house needs a strong foundation in order to build the rest of it. So does your personal brand. And though becoming self-aware may not be sexy or glamorous or sound like super actionable, it actually is. Seeing ourselves for who we really are is humbling and can be painful. Like when you start to get to know yourself, you might be like, whoa, what were you on? Like, why did you used to be that way? Or why are you currently that way? It could be ugly feelings that come up and cause pain. I'm not ignoring that, but I went through it, and you could go through it too if you're brave enough. It's not a road for everybody. Entrepreneurship is not a road for everybody. Being a really top performing, successful YouTuber is not for everybody. But if that's something that you want, you got to get to know yourself. There's no way around it. It's necessary to create a personal brand that stands out and reflects your true, authentic self. There's things about me in this journey yet that I have not shared with you guys. You know, different aspects of my past, who I used to be, whatever, but it's not time for me to share it. But when I do, it's going to do nothing but strengthen my brand, because I could tell you I was on this, but look at me now type of thing. Nothing that you did in your past can't be used for your glory, your goodness, your present. Please remember that. Don't Abigail, hello, Abigail. Abigail says hello. Hi, hi. And she also says the old version keeps trying to surface. That's real. A lot of people deal with that. Tell that old version, see you later. And it's about you, not talking specifically to Abigail, but it's about you not getting caught up in your old self. A new person is here. You got to build a personal brand based off of that new person. Within us, we contain great potential and talents that we have yet to discover. Does anyone feel that way? Do you feel like underneath the surface, like bubbling up, I have like not even like goodness, but great potential and talents? There's possibilities flowing out of you. Do you feel that way? Um, and these things you have to unpack, you have to discover them so that they can come to the forefront. Becoming more self-aware is a way to bring out the powers we have within and make them manifest. I hope you're hearing me. It's all about an honest assessment. And I've brought that up before in some other video, but you have to ask yourself some questions and just assess who you are, you know? I don't know. I don't know what the questions are. You can Google them. You can ask ChatGPT, like, ChatGPT, I need to do a self-assessment. I'm trying to get to know myself, be really self-aware. What are some questions I can ask myself, and then do a journal exercise on it? We have AI. Let's use it to our advantage. Think about what's important to you. This is my last point on number one, become dangerously self-aware. This is my last point. Use the questions that you come up with in your self-assessment to figure out, what did I just say? Oh, what's important to you, the things you enjoy, what drives you. This now, what I'm about to say, pay close attention to. What distracts you? What distracts you? Do you know what easily distracts you? I'll go ahead and share what distracts me. Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine. Go, I love reality TV. It's just one of those things that I can escape, just get a good old laugh. It distracts me though. And there's times where I let it distract me too much. When you know what's distracting you, you can nip it in the bud, do less of it. I'm not someone that is big on deprivation. Everything in moderation. You got to know what distracts you. And take note of your habits and tendencies, good or bad habits. Right now, think of one good habit that you have. One, two, three, four. You have good habits. Well, now what's a bad habit? I'll go ahead and share a bad habit of mine. Right now, one of my bad habits is like emotional spending. I'm building my YouTube channel, guys. I'm a mom. Like, I'd be so like, I just need to go buy this coffee right now, even though I have an espresso machine. Just stuff like that, that's something that I need to fix and clean up. Qua taps in, she says distraction for me, doom scrolling. I always say I'm looking for inspo. Oh, I do the same damn thing. It's one thing to look for inspo, and then you're over here scrolling for 40 minutes. How much inspiration do you need talking to me? Like, I do that too. So being aware of distractions and everything that I just mentioned is all about being self-aware, because even a distraction somehow can be a personal moment. Just like I did here, I brought up something that is maybe a negative aspect of me, but it's still a point for me to connect on in my video with someone out there that may be watching. Everything is to be discovered within yourself to work for your greater good. Um, so after your self-assessment, take the results that you've observed and use them as the foundation, once again, for your personal brand. Uh, I might have skipped one. Sorry, guys. My papers are all out of whack. That's okay. That's okay. Next point, though, number 2, figure out the benefits of improving your personal brand on social media. It's one thing to hear, oh, you got to build your personal brand, but do you really know the benefits of doing that for you? You have to have a true motivation in place for building a personal brand, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Um, It needs to be a motivation that will push you to form a powerful and successful brand. Your motivation, you should be able, if I asked you right now, if we was in the same room, you were sitting on this little, my daughter's little baby couch right there. I turned around and I said, hey, what's your motivation for building a personal brand? You would need to be able to answer that in one sentence, it doesn't need to be long. It really doesn't need to be long. Um, So consider the impact that a refined personal brand can have on your career as a content creator and entrepreneur, whether it's opening doors to new opportunities or helping you stabilize your income. We talked about the opening doors part, but stabilizing your income, I mean, money has a lot to do with why a lot of us are doing many different actions, right? But maybe outside of money, building a personal brand could bring you other things as well. We all have different motivations for doing this. You may want, one of my things is I really want to be on a panel one day with, it could be men or women, but with women that I've looked up to for a long time. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But I really want to be on a panel one day. I'm building my personal brand so that people can email me, whoever's going to email me, like, I seen your channel. I'm very clear on your brand and what you're about, Nala. Can you join our panel on such and such, this and that? That's a goal of mine. That's a dream of mine. It's one of my motivations. You can have multiple motivations, but you know how I said you want to be able to put it into like a simple sentence. It's like, I want to be able to use my voice in multiple different ways, in multiple different stages, platforms. I I have something to say. I have a true passion for teaching, building successful businesses and brands. And I want to be able to do that on as big of a scale as God will allow me. That's just an example of a motivation to have. So create or review the list of long-term goals you wish to achieve related to your online presence. When was the last time you looked over your goals? Once again, your goals related to your online presence, your social media goals, your YouTube goals. You can't lose track of those things. Something I like to say to myself is like, if it's not top of mind, if I don't see it, I'm not really going to be focused on it. It's always healthy to look back at your social media related goals and then assess them as well. you know So please, please do that review or make the list if you haven't already. You guys are so sweet. Abigail, I just want to say thank you so much for the super sticker and JT coin rings. Hello. Hello. Thank you, JT coin rings. Good evening in my travels. Hello, guys. So, sorry. Here's some questions that I just want to put on your radar. What will you gain from building a personal brand? What will you gain from building a personal brand? What do you want to be known for? That's one of my favorite questions. And feel free if you want to answer, whether that's in the live stream or, if you're live or on the replay, what do you want to be known for? Are you leaving a legacy here? Like, what do you want to be known for? How will a personal brand help you attract the right people and resources? I'm big on attraction. Does anyone else like the law of attraction? Answering these questions will be useful while figuring out what the benefits are to you of building a personal brand online. The main goal here is to clarify your purpose and get yourself in a space to create an effective plan. That's why I'm telling you to figure out the benefits of improving your personal brand on social media. Boosting your visibility, expanding your audience, and gaining potential customers are some examples of the benefits of leveling up your personal brand on social media. And what I want you to walk away with on this point is that purpose is a key to exceptional performance. Purpose is a key to exceptional performance. Abigail asks, Nala, are you going to the podcast summit in July? Probably not. I haven't heard of the podcast summit. As much I would love to go to content creator related events this year, I'm probably not going to be able to. And that's okay with me. I do plan to get out to these events in 2025, though. All right, so Pusha Bay says, keep up the great work, sis. I see you building. Thank you so much. Thank you, sis. Get clear on what you can gain from a strong person. Getting clear on what you can gain from a strong personal brand helps you determine the purpose of actually putting in the work to elevate your personal brand. You'll find yourself falling off the band, just stopping working towards building your personal brand if you don't know the purpose behind why you're doing it. And again, purpose will help you create a plan and turn that purpose into action, which leads me to point number 3. Identify the mission and vision of your personal brand. I feel like mission and vision are two terms that we often we've heard before, right? A lot of us have heard that mission and vision statements. Those are usually used in the context of business development. If you don't already, start viewing your personal brand as your business. It's so beneficial. I'm someone that says your YouTube channel should be treated like a business. And I'm also someone that says your personal brand should be treated as a business as well. A business mentality and a mindset is something that doesn't only need to be applied to business. It's a style of thinking. When someone says you're business minded, that means your style of thinking is, maybe the word is I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is you can apply a business mind to multiple things, not just an actual business. I hope you get what I'm saying. So let's get some quick definitions of a mission statement and a vision statement. So your mission statement is the fundamental reason your personal brand exists. The fundamental reason your personal brand exists, also known as its purpose. Why does your personal brand exist? What is the purpose? And your vision statement describes the desired future position of your personal brand. Does anyone watching have an example that they would like to share of a mission statement or a vision statement? It doesn't have to be yours personally, but maybe one you've heard before that you would like to give as an example. Asia or Aza Ray says, love you too, girl. Thank you for giving me. We got to throw up the hearts. Yes, I feel the love. I feel the love. Um, Identifying the mission and vision of your personal brand is essential because it serves as an overarching message that defines who you are. Abigail just asked me, like, am I going to this podcast summit? Earlier, I shared that I want to be on a stage and do what is it called? A panel. When you're in these rooms, you may not be in them now, maybe you are. When you start to get in these rooms, conversations will naturally happen. And if you're clear on your mission and vision statement for your personal brand, it's going to be so natural to like intertwine that messaging into some of the answers to the questions that come up in just average networking chit chat stuff. And you only have, oftentimes when you're in the room or when you're in networking spaces, you don't have all day. You don't have an hour live stream to explain to someone what you're about and what your personal brand is about. And it's nothing for you to sit there and be like, well, the mission statement of my personal brand is da 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 da. The vision statement is da 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 da. Like, it's not supposed to be that. Getting clear on those things, like I said, is just like, you knowing it in the back of your head, you'll find creative ways to intertwine that into your language naturally. And someone in their mind, they may not tell you, but they're like, that person, they really know what they're doing. They really know themselves, or they may say something to that effect. It's just about you getting clear on that, is about you being on your P's and Q's. Is that how they say that? So you're not feeling stuck and you're going on rambling whenever someone asks you about, the type of content you create, or what endeavors are you working on, or what's this and that, what do you feel about this? You can always inject your vision and your purpose, your mission, however you want to call it, into that. um Aja says, my mission behind my artistry is to transform and uplight the frequency of the planet through my artistry. Let's see if this nice, neat phrase goes with the definition we just shared. Your mission statement is the fundamental mental reason your personal brand exists, also known as its purpose. Well, it seems like the purpose of Aja's artistry is to transfer and uplight the frequency of the planet through my artistry. I think that's a great example. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Abigail shares, innovation is in my blood. I seek to find ways to adapt when needed and disrupt when possible. See, these are nice, neat, like bite-sized phrases that you want to have for yourself. For the past 15 plus years, I have been at the forefront of digital evolution and transformation as an intrepid business strategist, thought leader, and functional operator, called on to develop solutions and technologies that have enabled stronger customer engagement, retention, and loyalty. I think that this is a good statement that looks good on paper, but we would need the elevator pitch version of this one. you would need to condense this one a little bit more so that it's a bit more digestible. You want to think of bite size. Like, this is good. I get what is being said here, but we always want to think, what if I only have 5 seconds? Jennifer says, Starbucks mission statement makes us want to be part of it all. And even more than that, it conveys a sense of beating heart behind the company. Ooh, let's see what I'll just look it up on my phone. Let's see what Starbucks, because I don't even know, Starbucks mission statement. It says, creating a culture of warmth and belonging where everyone is welcome. With every cup, with every conversation, with every community, we nurture the limitless possibilities of human connection. So even them, they have, if you want to see it really quick, I can show you. Creating a culture of warmth and belonging where everyone is welcome, you know? Yeah, I agree. So we definitely have to have it be nice, neat, bite size. I can't stress that enough. And Abigail agrees. So, and Jennifer brings up a good point that I think takes what I'm saying about the bite size, nice and neat, less corporate, more heart. And I think, like, when you condense down your mission statement or your vision statement into a concise sentence, it forces you to bring the heart to the forefront and less of that jargon, that corporate jargon that a lot of us are used to using, you know? Tammy says, hey girl, thank you for being here. So let's see, identify the mission and vision of your personal brand. Okay, we said that. So here are 3 things that your mission and vision should accomplish. 1, these statements should be clear and concise and should reflect your larger than life goals and values. You know, I think I've spoken on the concise component, but I haven't mentioned they should reflect your larger than life goals and values. And I think the example Asia shared is an example of larger than life, transform and uplight the frequency of the planet. That's big. You know, these should be like, yeah, you know, I think you get what I'm saying. They should be something that you can easily articulate and that resonates with your target audience. We talked about the easily articulation, but to take that a step further, resonates with your target audience. Let me put down my notes for a second. Your mission and vision statement can resonate with you, but if it's not aligned with the people that you're trying to connect with here online, then the mission and vision statements need to be revised, or you need a new target audience. It has to be something that the community you're building can resonate with, you know? And then lastly, in essence, your mission and vision should be a guiding light that will shape your decisions and help you stay true to yourself and your brand. It's like a compass. Your mission and vision is like a compass. And to Jennifer's point, so she just mentioned that she didn't mean uplight. It was a typo. I was like, oh, okay, that's a new word. And Jennifer was like, uplight, that's some new vocab too. We like uplight. Let's keep uplight. But yeah, it's like a compass, and you want to use the messaging that's in your mission and vision, not only to come up in these different conversations that I discussed, but in the way you write online, whether that be captions on your Instagram posts, the titles in your YouTube videos, the posts you create on the community tab of YouTube. It all should kind of have a similar vibe to it. And a power tip under point number 3 is something that I brought up, a number of times on here, your lighthouse strategy, which is all about establishing a bigger message behind all aspects of your online presence. So bigger message that has to be incorporated into all your content. And it influences your audience perception. Lighthouse strategy. I'm not going to break it down too much here, but the takeaway is it's the bigger message, it's the through message, the theme that someone can find in all your content. Okay. Think of your lighthouse strategy as the connecting thread between all aspects of who you are on and offline. Great. So I would love to, like, we have a few people here watching with me live. Do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any does anyone have any tips, like any personal branding? Like, where are you guys starting with personal branding? Do you have any tips that you would like to share with the collective? You know, I hope that I was able to give some valuable insight into how you can start with this process of building your personal brand. Like, there's tips out there about it, but I just feel like the ones that I mentioned go a bit deeper. And how I mentioned them just go a bit deeper than what you might have heard before. I just want to drive the point home again, like your personal brand is a true gateway to opening up new forms of monetizing yourself online. So, as like a recap of what I shared, remember that becoming self aware, understanding the benefits of improving your personal brand, and creating a mission and vision statement are key components to being successful on social media. You know, Jennifer says, I know my brand's about healthy lifestyle, but some people aren't into reading labels yet. So I need to work on that. I need, sorry, I got caught up with my reading. Some people aren't into reading labels yet. So I need to work for their view. Any tips? Can you bring some clarity to this question? Because I agree, there are people that aren't into reading labels yet. But what is that connection to your brand, like a healthy lifestyle brand? If you're a content creator, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone looking for additional ways to maximize your income potential, you know, you may not be in that space where you're calling yourself a content creator, where you're calling yourself an entrepreneur. I have a lot of different videos where I'm talking about personal branding, talking about building your YouTube channel. So feel free to check them out if you haven't already. If Jennifer does take the time to clarify her question, I will be more than happy to answer it. Abigail says that was a much needed mistake. It sounds so much more fitting with the mission statement. Yeah, yeah. I I think okay, sorry. I'm sorry that I am losing my train of thought. Let's talk about the two-word brand. I want to circle back to that. So I recently heard of the two-word brand and I don't have my two-word brand yet. I feel like that is something that is hard to come up with. But I feel it is so valuable because you know how I was talking about we only have a few seconds sometimes when we're meeting with people, when we're connecting with people. And Chris Doe's example of like he's a loud introvert, that does spark curiosity. That does make someone intrigued. And it's a nice like way to introduce who you are on a deeper level, but like it's a good title. Like, I don't know how to call it, but the two-word brand is like a good introduction to your overall personal brand. But I feel like for me, like if you're also wondering, okay, well, how can I go about identifying my two-word brand. The thing about being self-aware, I think that helps. But for me, I think it's just going to take time. And now that it's on my mind to like something that I want to figure out and create for myself, I'm constantly just looking for those two words that I feel represent my brand. But I wanted to say, like, it may not be something you can come up with right away. Oftentimes, like, you have to do actions. Like, you might have to put out more videos, more content, get further along in your business development of your side hustle or something like that in order for you to actually see the brand that you're developing online and then kind of work backwards and then create a two-word brand from it. So I did want to share that. Abigail asks, can you make it entertaining for people to get involved? Oh, okay. So that was to Jennifer's question. So I want to circle back to what Jennifer's question was. She clarified, if I talk about an ingredient that's not good for our DNA, how do I get them to care when they could care less what they put in their body? Getting those people as new viewers is my big goal. You may not be in the healthy lifestyle niche, but what I'm about to say, I think is going to be helpful for any niche right now. So I'm big on reading labels. It's actually something that I got my husband to start to do because I would choose, for example, peanut butter is a really good example, right? Jiffy. I had Jiffy in the house as a kid. It was good. It was regular peanut butter to me. I didn't think nothing of it. But as I got older, I started to learn about reading labels. And I looked at the back label of the Jiffy and I'm like, whoa, there's a whole bunch, there's way more than just nuts, peanuts, and salt than compared to a clean ingredient jar of peanut butter is peanuts and salt, you know? Um, so once I showed him that, he started reading the labels himself and he naturally over time started to care about, okay, you can't take things for face value. So the question though at hand is like, these people can care less what they put into their bodies. Sometimes you have to connect. You're right. Like sometimes you have to connect like, okay, then what do people care about? And connect it to this thing you're trying to put them on to. I feel like for this example is like, maybe there's people in your audience like they want to look good. Maybe they care more about vanity metrics. You have to make content related to that and then sneak in. Well, one way you can make sure your body stays looking right, yada, 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 is making sure you take some time to read the labels of the things that you're eating. It's a strategy that's called like putting the broccoli in the burger strategy. I can go ahead and pull it up instead of me trying to explain it to you. I can pull that up. Just give me a second. There's the video. Okay, so do you ever find yourself? Hold on. Oh man, I'm not gonna even know where to start it. Let me just explain it. The broccoli and the burger is like basically people don't know what they need to hear sometimes. So you have to like give them what they want and then sneak in what they need. And I hope that makes sense. So that's why I said it applies to any niche because there's oftentimes we have a goal with our viewers and we want them to share this information, but it's like we can already assume it's not sexy enough. They're not going to want to click on it. They're not going to want to watch it. So you have to find like that carrot to dangle in front of them. Like use the shiny object strategy. Like what topic can you cover that will get their attention, and then you can slide in the true stuff that they need to know. Abigail says, think about your target audience and what are they? Oh, Abigail literally was saying what I'm saying. Think about your target audience and what they are interested in. Think about the culture. A lot of time people are one, concerned about their looks, gear it towards their weight, skin, or outward benefit. They are only concerned about their weight and gear it towards their weight. Yeah, that's literally what I'm saying. Like the not so glamorous stuff, you have to match it with something a bit more fun and enticing. And Jennifer says that that's a great idea. And I'm happy that, I can say something that's helpful and like it seems to be here. Abigail has a similar piece of advice. So yeah, think about your 2-word brand. Maybe do something similar as me and let it come to you naturally. Once again, I have some other content on this topic on my page of building a personal brand. And ultimately, it's one of my goals that I have this year to do. One way that I'm doing that is through my YouTube channel. And it's just something that I feel like a personal brand is like a currency. If you don't have a personal brand, it's like you don't, it's similar to, okay, there's 3 people in a room or 2 people in a room. One has a personal brand, one doesn't. The one with the personal brand is going to have more opportunities, more benefits, more everything than the person who doesn't. Similar to those same 2 people, if we take out personal brand for money, one person has $100, the other person has 0. You could do way more when you have money versus you having absolutely not a dollar to your name. So a personal brand allows you to do way more than not having one. And I hope that is something you can take away from this video. Remember I said my notes were all out of whack. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.